The boys are here to keep this current political dumpster fire to a smolder. Let's cut through the poo-poo and throw a little light on the chaos before it. Holy moly! Take it away, gentlemen.
Take it away, we will. Welcome one, welcome all to The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Glad to be back in the saddle and to have you along for the ride, of course.
Yeah, it's the midweek edition, because who wants to wait for an entire week to discuss what a shit show our country is, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's on our minds constantly. I mean, I read something today that the reason that people are going on more SSRIs, like depression medication, stuff like that, is mainly in a survey taken because of politics and where they are right now, you know. Whether it be prices are high or, you know, hate the leadership, that kind of stuff.
Meanwhile, FDR is RFK,
yeah.
No, blame FDR, sorry. RFK is jumping all over, you know, antidepressants and whatnot. They should be handing them out for free.
Yeah, they should. That's a good point to make. I mean, we need them more now than ever. And RFK is shitting all over them. So, wonder what that's all about.
Mailless abortion pills and antidepressants. Just cover all the bases. I feel that's the easiest way to go. So
we just put something through where we should start mailing guns. So, you know, you think suicide rates will go up? Crying out loud.
That really is a sad commentary, right? We're trying to make it easier to mail guns and harder to mail abortion pills and antidepressants.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, if you want to contact us, you can go to thevocalminority.net. If you comment on the video, we may spend a few minutes replying to those as well. But I made a mistake. We're trying to have an intelligent conversation with somebody in the comments a few days ago. It didn't go well, so I stopped.
There are some people that you can't have an intelligent conversation with, you know,
it takes two to have an intelligent conversation.
Having an intelligent tango, as it were, yeah.
But anyway, so, plenty going on. It kind of feels like a Friday. I just feel like it's been a week already, but it is not.
I know. I felt the same way. I woke up this morning. I was just like, is it really only Tuesday? Ugh.
Yeah.
But we're here to, I don't know. I've been trying to do that thing where I've got like one good news story for the day. I don't know that I'm having troubles, dude. I kind of made a false commitment to that because I was going to try and have one every week or twice a week, rather. I guess I kind of have one today, but I don't know if it is or not. So we'll see.
Yeah. We got Spain chiming in. We got Australia chiming in. Italy today. We appreciate it. We're sorry, but we appreciate it. We're sorry for us. We're sorry for the country.
Yeah.
that we're representing.
Yeah, the chat loading up. So let's jump into some need-to-know news.
This is need-to-know news. News you need to know.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
Well, if you saw the thumbnail, you know that we're getting ready to talk about Trump's new slush fund. I guess we'll break this down for you a little bit. This was basically something that started out as Trump suing his own government for $10 billion in this IRS lawsuit where he says, you released my taxes. I didn't say that was okay.
Yeah. That some random contractor did who got fired for it. But somehow, I mean, listen, I don't even want to try to approach this story as being anything that is common sense,
Right.
Yeah. We have a president who the Supreme Court has said is immune from anything that's official. Department of Justice has said we cannot prosecute a sitting president. Yet apparently a sitting president can sue his own administration and be the person he has to negotiate with to settle. I mean, the whole thing is just bogus, fraudulent. And the settlement, you and I on the Friday show were talking about the rumors of the settlement.
Yeah.
And they all came true. This slush fund, which at first I didn't even realize they made a joke out of the slush fund amount.
The amount I think is the $1.776 billion.
Yeah, 1776 because
250. Right.
Just the fact that they made a joke out of the amount shows you how just insanely arbitrary and just made up it is. Like, let's see if we could actually get $1776 billion out. But to me, the most egregious part, and, Kennedy and I, my girlfriend, we talk politics a lot, usually every day when she gets home from work. I give her the rundown, whether she wants it or not, of the atrocities going on in America. And I tried to explain this the other day, that part of this settlement, the proposed settlement as we knew it on Friday, the reality as we know it today, is not only this $1.8 billion slush fund, but that Trump and anybody named Trump would be immune from any sort of IRS audits, prosecutions, anything.
From here moving forward, right?
Yes. And that blew her mind, and I think it blows the mind of most anybody watching, because how could anybody be given blanket immunity from ever being audited or prosecuted again? That is basically a get out of jail free card to never pay taxes again.
Yeah.
Or you could even go worse. What would stop Donald Trump Jr. from saying, well, I did my taxes, I'm owed a $27 million refund? You can't check my math. You can't audit me.
Can't audit me, just mail me the check. I mean, it's completely absurd, dude. So
yes.
I mean, it's unprecedented and absurd. So yeah, let's set this story up about what's going on with this.
I don't even know how to talk about this. I mean, it's like we agreed to give Trump a unicorn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
He can have as many as he wants whenever he wants, and so can all his family.
Up to $1.8 billion could be going to President Trump's allies after his Justice Department announced they were establishing a fund for anyone who believes that they have been unfairly targeted by a federal investigation. Now, this agreement was negotiated by the president's personal lawyers who were handling his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. And on the other side of the table were Trump administration lawyers from the Justice Department, the White House, and the IRS. There was no outside voice here. Now, they say that anyone with a claim can file for an apology and a possible monetary settlement. They insist there's no partisan requirements, but all of these claims are going to be vetted by a group of 5 people selected by the Attorney General. Now, one will be selected with Congress, but the president can fire any of these people if he doesn't like what they're doing with this fund. Now, after a decade of reporting on President Trump's various legal entanglements, I can say I don't think the average person fully appreciates the extent to which not just the president, but also his lawyers, who are now all working in government, that they really believe he was unfairly targeted by these previous criminal investigations. But after looking at the details of the settlement, it's pretty clear that his lawyers may not fully understand the extent to which taxpayers are going to be willing to alleviate these grievances with their own money. Now, this fund is part of an agreement to get the president to drop his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. The exact amount, though, of this fund is $1.776 billion. I'm told that is a deliberate nod to the nation's upcoming birthday. It's cute, but it's unclear that taxpayers are going to find any of this amusing.
Yeah, no. I don't think it's. We don't find it cute at all, dude. I mean,
I don't even see how a MAGA person with a straight face could attempt to defend this, other than they think they're about to get a payment, so that, for that reason they may try to.
It's funny, dude, that she says, they've made it very clear anyone who can apply for this, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever the case may be, anyone can apply for an apology and possible funds transferred to you, if you're owed that. But can you imagine? I mean, most of these people that apply are going to be getting apologies, because this is somehow going to fall all in the bank account of Trump or the people that surround him, his family,
I mean, you got to remember, $1 billion is a lot of money. 1.8 billion. Yeah. I mean, they could pay out hundreds of millions of dollars to all sorts of, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to all sorts of low-level sycophants, MAGA supporters,
totally.
Just to sort of fluff the money out there somewhere. But that same CNN report the other day, I saw her on the one of the news shows. She was saying that, and she wasn't trying to defend it, but she just pointed out that the DOJ said that any unused funds at the end of Trump's term would revert back to the government as if he could give out, the $800 million and then write a check to Melania or Barron or anyone named Trump for the other $1 billion. He's not going to leave money in that account.
No, and we're paying for it all,
All of it. And someone else asked, where's this money coming from? Like the settlement just says that the government has to provide this money to the Department of Justice. And
Yeah.
even the calling it a settlement is a farce. He sued himself, negotiated with himself, settled with himself, and took the money not from himself, but from you.
Yes, and he even came out when he did that and said, like, I guess since it's me, I can come up with the amount and just kind of set that amount and what should be awarded. Like, he's not even trying to hide.
It's the most
He's-
legally ridiculous thing I have ever heard, that you can sue yourself and negotiate with yourself and settle with yourself with taxpayer money and pretend that it's legitimate. And as we discussed on Friday's show, the first time this got in front of a judge, he said, like, I don't think you can even do this. So we're going to do a little more research. And then while that was happening, Trump settled the lawsuit.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny how all of his sycophants and the people wrapped around him are not, saying like, oh, you can't do that. JD Vance was giving a speech and was asked about this. He talked about it for a long time, but a lot of it was just useless shit. But when he said this, I was like, oh, I got to play that clip. This is what he thinks about the slush fund for victims of Biden's DOJ.
My couch filed a claim.
Here's the question. You say, why should taxpayers fund this? Whenever the United States government incurs legal expenses, it pays out those legal expenses. When it's settling a lawsuit, it pays out money to settle that lawsuit. And the question is a dollar of this money going to the Trump administration? No. Is a dollar of this money going to Donald Trump personally? No.
All of it.
Is a dollar of this money going to Donald Trump's family? No.
Yes.
The people that would get the money are people, some of whom have been prosecuted completely disproportionate to any crime they've ever committed. Like, let's just take a couple of examples. Tina Peters is this woman who is about to get out of prison, thanks in large part to the president's good work in Colorado. This is a woman who, at worst, if you believe everything that the prosecutors said about her, committed misdemeanor trespassing, and somebody threw the book at her, this innocent grandmother was going to spend 10 years in prison, completely disproportionate to any misdemeanor trespassing that I've ever seen. Was that fair? No. Is it reasonable for her to get some compensation for the fact that she was treated unfairly? I think the answer is yes. And I think that what we're going to see, hopefully, is the entire country, led by this Department of Justice, turning the page on the lawfare.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Yes.
Let her file an appeal then with the court system, because obviously that is how things are set up. And his bullshit notion at the beginning there of, well, every time the government has to pay out a lawsuit, it's your time. Yeah, that's when a judge and a jury and you've gone through the process and you are ordered to pay it out. You don't settle with yourself.
No, dude. And, when he talks about Tina Peters, I mean, that was all bullshit. He tried to minimize everything that she did. She was found guilty of, at the heart of it, it was election interference and some other weird shit that this little grandma was doing. It doesn't matter how old you are. The law applies to everyone. And she was found guilty by a jury of her peers, dude.
Of course. Can you please fix our screen?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it, to be honest with you, because
I think I can do it, but then one of us will go away. Oh, there we go. How's that?
There we go.
There
Good.
we go. Sorry.
Hey, dude. So answer this question for me, because I was really trying to think about this earlier today. Like, we, in the past 10 years plus, just a little plus, have heard about Biden's DOJ, Trump's DOJ. Have we ever heard about the DOJ named just as the president in office's DOJ, as that it was unfair to some people? Like, we just have the DOJ, right?
Right. I mean, there's always been a separation, even though you can appoint people. Of course, there's always been a wall there. I mean, that is just the beginning of the absurdity of what is going on right now, that somehow it's Trump's DOJ and they openly communicate with each other and Trump tells them who to prosecute and they're negotiating their own settlements against their own people. And not to mention Trump's personal attorney is currently running the DOJ.
Yeah.
The Department of DJT is really what it should be.
When my wife, somebody comes to her and says, "Oh, I want you to sue this person," or "I want you to defend us," because she's a defense attorney, she has to check all sorts of conflicts, dude, before she can say, "Yes, I'll do that for you."
Yes.
That doesn't exist in our government. We don't have anything to do with balances, checks, conflicts. Like, all that shit is just out the window. And I think it bothers everybody, but not enough for people in the MAGA department to stand up and be like, yeah, this isn't right, dude.
I mean, I hate to keep saying this over and over, but obviously, if Obama, if Biden, if Hillary Clinton, if an AOC, a Gavin Newsom, a Pete Buttigieg in the future, I mean, they would shit a fucking brick.
Yeah.
They would shit a brick if AOC had her own line of sneakers, let alone suing the government and taking $1 billion. And by the way, this slush fund is, he's going to use it for whatever nefarious means he's going to. But what he really, really wanted was immunity from ever being audited again.
Sure.
That is the ultimate grift. $1 billion, he's going to get. Him and anyone else named Trump is going to get way more than $1 billion or $2 billion by grifting the IRS for the rest of their lives.
We already know that Trump has spent his entire life grifting the IRS and the government from other shit. So this just sets up the slush fund's nothing to them. Trump was asked about this slush fund. Let's take a look at his response to the question.
Do you believe that people who committed violence against Capitol Hill police officers on January 6th should be eligible for compensation from this DOJ fund? And are you or your family members going to be seeking compensation from that fund?
It'll all be dependent on a committee. A committee's being set up of very talented people, very highly respected people. I think it's a committee of 5. And again, I didn't do this deal. It was told to me yesterday. They said they're doing something. I do believe there has to be compensation for people that were destroyed. You have families absolutely destroyed, and it's all going to be determined by a committee of 4 or 5 people that are respected and very brilliant at what they do.
You'll notice that he said it's all going to be decided by a committee of 4 or 5 people. That's because the committee is 5, and there's supposed to be 1 person from Congress on that committee.
Yeah.
Which he just told you. I'm not going to fucking listen to anything he says. Like, there's 4 people on this committee. I've approved them all, and if they aren't doing what I like and what I say, it's written in. I can fire them and replace them immediately.
Yes, exactly. No, I mean, to say that is a fig leaf or whatever would be an understatement. Like, oh, no. First of all, I had no knowledge of this. I had no idea. Fuck you. You've told us since day one that you get to negotiate with yourself on this. But to say, oh, no, there's going to be a committee of all hand-picked Trump appointees, and if they don't vote the way I want, I'll fire them. There will be no disclosure. It says it in there. We don't have to know who is getting paid, when they get paid. None of that. I mean... No.
Then you wanted to set this up real fair. Then put AOC on that committee. Put Chuck Schumer on this committee. But obviously that's not going to happen.
Of course.
A lot of people, and you'll notice that video was from yesterday that he made that statement. He was like, I just found out yesterday. I've heard you talking about this slush fund a few days before that. So that's bullshit. He's, obviously lies, but has been caught lying over and over again.
Yeah.
TMZ, who has decided to get in on politics, saw Ted Cruz in the courthouse walking out and decided to ask him. It's on everyone's mind. Do you think violent criminals from the J6 event should be, able to get any of this money? And Ted Cruz answered
pardoned. Why wouldn't they be able to?
They were all pardoned, right? Yeah. Doesn't that mean you're innocent?
Yeah. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, but Ted Cruz answered this question just like you think that he would.
I'm a little concerned that January 6 rioters, violent January 6 rioters who were convicted and then pardoned, I'm a little worried that they're going to be entitled to taxpayer money, that money's going to come out of my pocket.
I'm not surprised you're worried about that, but I'm curious, were you worried at all when Joe Biden was weaponizing the Department of Justice?
I don't want to talk about Joe Biden, sir.
I know you don't. I understand you got a political agenda.
No, I don't. I just don't want to pay January 6 riders.
Look, I get. You get to ask a question.
Can you
I get
answer
to give
it?
the answer. I'm giving you my answer.
Okay.
which is that you were not remotely concerned when Joe Biden weaponized the Department of Justice to go after his political opponents, to prosecute them, to go after Donald Trump. Trump was indicted not once, 4 separate times. It was the greatest abuse of the rule of law in our nation's history.
Do you think January 6 rioters should be eligible for this money? Yes or no?
I think what the Biden Justice Department did.
Cut it off. I mean, he doesn't. That video went on for another minute and a half, and he just never answers. I mean, he always talks about the Biden Justice Department. Do you think what they did was right?
Man, I mean, the whataboutisms with these guys is insane. But yeah, just answer the fucking question. And why is he like the TMZ guy who was probably covering Jennifer Aniston, during the January 6th, right? Like, you didn't care about Biden. Like, dude, I work for TMZ. I just got moved to DC. I'm asking you a question. Can you just fucking answer it, please?
Yeah. They won't answer a yes or no. And why couldn't you? I mean, even if at any time you believed like, oh, yeah, some people were treated unfairly, why wouldn't you be able to say people on January 6th that were violent against police officers know they shouldn't get any money from this slush fund? Like, what would that fucking hurt you?
Well, I mean, the problem is that Trump has painted them in a corner. He has said they were wrongfully convicted. I've righted that wrong with a pardon. So if that logic is sound, which obviously it's not, they would be entitled to some sort of compensation. But let them go through the court process like everyone else in America has to. You have a grievance with the government, with the private business, then sue them. If you don't get the verdict you want, there's an appeal process. Like, that is what America is. And Trump is just subverting it in the most obnoxious, disgusting way possible. And I have seen a couple of Republicans today saying that they are uncomfortable with this or uneasy with it. Even freaking Scott Jennings, is that his name? The CNN roundtable dedicated MAGA guy. He was squirming last night, asked about this, saying like, yeah, it makes me a little uncomfortable. And that's as much of an admission as you're ever going to get out of someone like him.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you say? You're either for it or against it. There are no shades of gray with this. This is crazy, dude.
And again, the precedent you are setting. So now any president can come in, sue themselves, settle for any amount, dole it out whoever they want, give themselves immunity. You have got to have eyes wide open enough to see what could come next.
Yeah.
Like, it's mind-blowing. And I guess in somewhat a defense, like, there are now almost 100 Democrats immediately trying to block this whole thing. Now, they're not in power, but will any handful of Republicans step forward and join them to stop what is clearly insanely immoral conflict of interest, straight up grifting? And I mean, to say it's illegal, I don't know how it can't be.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know either. And I really do doubt that any Republicans will step up. Only because, they are spineless. We have a spineless Congress, and they have just been in lockstep with him. You have to understand that the only time these people speak out is when they're either going to retire or if they've got something else going on. Why did Tucker Carlson retreat? We don't know. But other people, other maggots like Marjorie Taylor Greene, we knew she was going to retire, so why not step out and talk shit? But otherwise, they want to keep their career, they'll keep in lockstep.
We need to retire them. 86 Congress and the Senate, anyone who's not speaking out. And when they do get their asses kicked this November, I think then you will start to see them like, oh, well, hey, what can I do to save some level of face here? It's like the, war authorizations. Like each time they do the vote, one more Republican comes over and joins the Dems. And eventually that will tip. And I do think the midterms will be, what's going on. But House Democrats taking legal action today to block this whole slush fund thing. House Democrats filed an amicus brief objecting to the settlement, warning of a specter of corruption unparalleled in American history. That's not hyperbole. On X, the House Judiciary Dems announced 93 House Democrats, I don't know why it's not 100% of them, but have filed this motion to block Trump's self-dealing settlement in his sham $10 billion IRS lawsuit, which has now created this slush fund.
Some Democrats pushing legislation like the Ban Plunder Taxpayer Act that would ban presidents from receiving or steering settlement money from the U.S. government. I guess if you're going to still create this slush fund, at least don't let him decide who's going to get the money. I mean, I know he says he's not going to, but come on. We all know what's going on here.
Make Congress do it, make somebody do it. These Democrats argued that, quote, raises serious questions about whether the parties have manipulated the court system to achieve illicit ends.
Yeah.
It doesn't even raise the question. I mean, it's blatantly obvious. This is a grift like I don't think we've ever seen, because how could you? How could you sue yourself and settle with yourself? Who else is in a position to do that?
No one. No, not one other person, dude. So, yeah.
But he's not a king, Nick. He's not above the law.
He's not, dude. No kings, dude. No kings. We've told him over and over, and he said, what king are they talking about? J.D. Vance even stepped up and made an analogy of his own today, speaking about those kings, Steve, that, you know what? This is a little hypocritical of the Democrats who are asking for no kings.
One of the great ironies of this job is that for the past couple of years, you see these protests break out all over the country, and sometimes, you know, they're fairly well attended, and sometimes they're very poorly attended. Everybody holds these signs saying no kings, right? And how many Democratic lawmakers have I seen holding up signs that say no kings? They are very, very insistent that we not have kings. And then King Charles comes to the congressional chamber, and these guys break out in rapturous applause. So maybe they don't care so much about kings as they pretend that they do. Maybe they just don't like the agenda that we're implementing that's actually making American workers and American families safe and prosperous again.
Yeah, that's it. Can you imagine trying to equate the applause of King Charles? Like, this dude's pissed that we still eat at Burger King. You know, he's like, no kings. You said no kings. You can't eat a Whopper. You can't eat a Whopper.
Is that the best he could come up with? You say you don't like kings, but then one visits our country and you all applaud him. You all say you don't like criminals, but you all went and saw Ocean's 11. Those guys all robbed the casino. So apparently you do like bad guys. You do like robbers. I mean, come on. I mean,
it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
People, I mean, for the love of fucking God, we've got to stop this. This cannot be allowed. I don't understand what reality we could be living in where this could possibly be a real thing. Doling out billions and immune from prosecution on any tax-related things.
Let's talk about doling out billions, Steve, as we move forward from this story to yet another story that just fucking blows my mind. You know, we just saw Trump make a trip over to China. And how did it go? You might be wondering. You're thinking, what were you doing over there? Well, let's talk about this first, okay? Because it'll make this whole story just make sense. First quarter of 2026, President Trump dabbled in the stock market. He went on a full-blown high-frequency trading spree where federal ethics filings show his advisors made over 3,600 stock trades in just 3 months, with a total value somewhere between $220 million and $750 million. Mm-hmm. So, with all that said, like, I don't know if you think that that's a lot, but, you know, there's day traders who couldn't make that many trades in a quarter without killing themselves. I mean, that's a crazy amount.
Yes.
But he's loaded up on all the usual Wall Street giants, right? He's got Microsoft, he's got Apple, Amazon, Meta, Nvidia, Intel, all the big ones. And if you'll notice, he took a lot of these bastards over to China with him. And you wonder, like, why is the head of Nvidia going to China with Trump? Well, when he got back, they said, oh, yeah, things went really well. And we're all wondering, like, how did it go well? Like, please tell us how it went well. And he started opening up about it. They brought big deals back for these fucking companies like Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Oracle, Broadcom, Boeing, often within the $1 to $5 million chunks at a time. They made crazy deals with China to order planes, to lift tariffs on chips. They could trade over here now. They can do this. His bank account from this China deal went up substantially with all these trades that he made over the last quarter.
Yeah. I mean, all of these companies he has owned or is currently buying more stocks in. I mean, we ran through this list last Friday, but he will buy stocks in a company and then go make public declarations about them, or buy stocks and then allow them to go sell NVIDIA chips in China. I mean, it's just, I don't know which grift is bigger right now, the stock market or the slush fund, because they're both insanely outrageous.
You know who Jim Cramer is?
Yes, the Mad Money guy.
Yeah, Mad Money. He's on CNBC, and he's been doing stocks and Mad Money for a long time. This is a great clip, dude, of Jim Cramer with a couple of his associates talking about stocks, and they mentioned the president doing this. And this is a real clip, dude. I had to go fact check because I was like, is that real?
But the president, the U.S. government got in. They could sell it and
yes,
give that
and
the
according
number.
to the filings, the president's been trading some intel in the quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, trade.
Got nothing to say about it?
Well, yeah.
All right, don't worry. We're not having technical difficulties here, everybody, but we gotta go.
Jim, we'll see you tonight. Mad Money, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, that's just a guy fizzling out because why? Well, because he doesn't know what to frickin' say without being come after by the president,
I mean, he was not having an aneurysm there. He seriously was speechless, dumbfounded. And this is Jim Cramer, who's constantly, buy, sell, I like it.
Yes.
Usually you got to tell him to tone it down a notch. And that is such a legitimate moment right there.
Yeah.
The president is trading stocks that he owns, or boosting up stocks, doing what clearly amounts to either market manipulation or insider trading. And Cramer is just, I
thought he was having a stroke, dude. I honestly did. I was like, he can't get a word out, dude. What's going on here?
That is what Trump does to people, especially, professionals that are in an industry that is heavily regulated and they know what insider trading looks like and market manipulation. And how do you get around?
When you can shut someone up like Jim Cramer, you've really, it's short circuit is what it is.
I mean, this is Trump's America. This is what it is doing to all of us. That's why I've been screaming on today's show. Like it hurts my head. I don't understand how this is reality. And I don't understand how this can be allowed to be. And I know that this November, I think there's going to be, I don't even think a blue wave is the right term. Like blue tsunami, I really think people are going to step up and just say, fuck no to this.
Let me play you one more money clip, and then we can get into exactly what you're talking about with hopefully, all these approval ratings that we're seeing. We can talk about those a little bit and see where they're going. Sean Hannity sat down with Trump. He was talking to his trip to China, and he was asking him questions, right?
Tough questions, I'm sure.
Tough, yeah. No softballs at all. But, this was interesting between Trump and Hannity.
I don't want to say we're making a fortune. You understand that? Because if I say, they're going to say, he forgets about the little man, with the $4 gasoline.
You hear Hannity say, that's not what you told me before. Yeah, you did forget about the little guy, dude. You're not thinking about the little guy at all those farmers and all those people in rural Kentucky that voted for you against their own interest. You have forgotten about them. In fact, you never thought about them after you took office. I love the poorly educated, and now you have abandoned them.
Yeah, listen, it's almost as if he was lying to get their votes.
No.
I mean, come on. Of course he doesn't think about them. Of course he doesn't care about them. Howard Stern correctly pointed out years ago that, the rich people that support Trump and the dumb people, those dumb people, fucking Trump would never hang out with them. He would never associate with them.
No.
He looks down on them. Yet somehow the great trick of them thinking that Trump is relatable to them, looking out for their self-interest. And the cracks are forming. Did a video today with a caller calling into Megyn Kelly's radio show, talking about feeling betrayed. Voted for Trump all 3 times. I feel betrayed, not looking out for me, not looking out for my family. We had someone call C-SPAN on Sunday, do the exact same thing, apologize for voting for him 3 times. Some of them are seeing it. So, that's why I say popularity is not doing well.
No, which is more than we ever saw in his first term. Like, people wouldn't say, I made a mistake or whatever.
There were still some checks on him in his first term. He still had some adults around him, and he still had something to lose. He still wanted to run for re-election. Now he has no more elections in his future, I think.
Hopefully.
And he doesn't have much future in his future. He knows he's an old man. He knows he's not doing well health-wise. So, the man does have nothing to lose, and that is a dangerous thing.
Yes, 100%. We've always said he wants to play with all the toys before he's out of office. That's exactly what he's doing now. And setting his family and his friends up in the meantime. Yeah, we do see that Trump hits his worst poll numbers ever.
Not only ever, but of any president of, I could say the modern era, but certainly like the last 30 years. And I feel like I see this headline every week. Trump, poll numbers at an all-time low.
Yeah.
But, they've dropped even lower somehow. How low can you go?
ABC News, Washington Post put Trump at 39% approval and 55% disapproval, described as the lowest 100-day approval rating in an 80-year period.
Wow.
So
Nate Silver's got him at 58.6% disapproval, surpassing both first-term peaks of 57% disapproval, even surpassing Biden's 58.3, Trump's at 58.6, after that debate, the infamous debate. So that's when Biden's all-time numbers hit a low there, or a high,
the debate, we even us all Democrats, like we got on the phone immediately afterward, like, what the fuck was that?
Right. Ooh. And that was our disapproval was based on like this guy definitely is getting too old. Like, this is scary. It wasn't based on him grifting the entire country, shitting all over the Constitution, and stealing billions of dollars for himself.
No. It was time to go, Joe. I mean, he had done a lot of good work throughout his career, but it was time to have something else happen.
And 58.6%. So who are the 41.4% that can still look themselves in the mirror and say, I approve of what our president is doing? I mean, are those all billionaires?
I think that they have to be billionaires, millionaires, rich people that, think that they're getting something out of this,
Or just the truly dumb, delusional. I've got a good high school friend who always posts, anti-Trump stuff on Facebook. And it's not outrageous stuff. I mean, this dude's pretty factually based. And there's this one mutual high school friend that is always on there arguing with them. You Democrats, you Democrats. And my buddy's always debating with him. I messaged him the other day and just said, dude, you got to stop. Like, when Marjorie Taylor Greene, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, when all of these people have given up on Trump, anybody left standing is truly delusional. And I don't say that in a insulting, trying to be a bully way. Like, you are truly delusional if you were still supporting this man.
If you've watched any film on Netflix, they've got a couple of really good specials of people like surviving the cult, and it's not even talking about the Trump cult. It's other huge religious cults and things like that have happened. Right. But the amount of therapy and aid that they need after leaving the cult, or to get them to leave a cult, is impressive. I mean, it is a ton. So all these people that are still like, my president. We saw someone at breakfast on Sunday morning. My wife and I went out to get something to eat. There were these people standing in the restaurant. It was two couples talking. They were like, I always support my president. This is my president. I'm going to continue to support him. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, at some point in time, you don't pull the ripcord when you see the ground coming at you and be like, this parachute doesn't fucking work. I need to pull the cord.
No, they don't.
So, I don't know what to tell you at that point. Like, you either have just got to hit the ground to wake up or to move on.
I can balance this a little. I have some, Trump bad news. I don't know if you have more on this topic or not.
No, this is good. That's all I wanted to press you a little bit at a time.
Right. So first of all, I find this a little ironic and humorous. So we're talking about this nearly $2 billion that Trump is stealing from all of us to give out to his buddies. Trump just threw out another $2 billion. Like, the party that is so against government waste, Doge, like, let's find all the fraud and abuse. Trump always thinks that windmills cause cancer.
Yes.
For some reason. Trump administration halts these wind projects that have been in development in order to cancel the leases on these 165 different wind projects, 54 of which are in Texas. They had to pay out $2 billion to cancel the leases.
Wow.
eliminating 8 gigawatts of planned capacity, by the way, as we have data farms popping up all over the country that are in need of all of our electricity, causing our rates to go up. So he just threw $2 billion of all of our money out the window. Maybe that's why he thinks it's not such a big deal to take another $2 billion and just spread it around town.
All that money is coming back to him tenfold from gas and oil, from people that run and control gas and oil. I mean, that's the only people that want to get rid of these windmills, dude, where we see that they're working in other countries and that they work in our own. It's just insane to me. So, yeah, when you see something like this happen in Texas, of all places, you watch Landman, this is gas and oil. You know, they've got a ton of money to take this shit down. $2 billion isn't anything to them, and that's hard to comprehend. But yeah, get them out of here. And you have Kevin O'Leary going on and talking about this new AI data farm and the fact that people should support him because he's trying to make it sustainable with exactly shit like that, with solar power, with windmills, and other things. So yeah, it's all just who gets their pockets filled the fastest.
Yeah, indeed. So a little mega backlash I was talking about. So today, Trump endorsed his preferred Senate candidate out of Texas, and he went with Paxton, Ken Paxton, the former attorney general, or current attorney general, sorry. But this is not what the Republican establishment wanted. So Senate Republicans apparently livid with Trump after his Paxton endorsement. Republicans erupted in frustration today after Trump blindsided the GOP conference by endorsing Ken Paxton over the incumbent, John Cornyn, out of Texas. And these are the people that have to run against James Tallarico, by the way. Yeah. So this is a huge consequence. Tallarico is already widely popular in Texas.
Yeah.
Like, he stands the best chance of any Democrat defeating one of these guys in a very long time, if not ever. So for Trump to come out and throw the incumbent under the bus is hilarious. Yeah. Senator Roger Wicker made it clear without saying a word. He was walking to a Republican lunch meeting today, stone-faced. Reporter asked him about it, and he just stood there staring silently for 20 seconds.
Didn't know what to say. Cat got your tongue? I mean, come on.
He's got Kramer disease. Senator Lisa Murkowski from Alaska was more blunt, telling reporters she believes Texas is now all but lost to the Democrats. Senator Ron Johnson didn't mince words either. He said, "I'm speechless." He really has no comment, is what he ended up saying. And Cornyn has been in the Senate since 2002, and he was blindsided by this and said, quote, "I have worked closely with President Trump through both of his presidential terms and voted with him more than 99% of the time. He has consistently called me a friend in this race." And that is what you call FAFO. You fucked around, and now you find out that Trump has no sense of loyalty. No. He does not give a shit about any of you. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, he only wants loyalty to him from you. So that's the only loyalty that matters.
Absolutely.
Why do you think he did this? Do you have any thoughts on why he would have done this? Why he would have gone against the grain like this in such an important race?
The 1% of the time.
Yeah.
Cornyn said I voted with him 99% of the time. And Paxton is a big, mega freak who's been trying to pass all sorts of laws and file all sorts of frivolous lawsuits in Texas going after abortion rights. And it's funny. It's funny because he's shooting himself in the foot with this one.
Totally.
And then the other big race going on today in the GOP primaries is Thomas Massie in Kentucky, who Trump hates and has been trying to get him primaried. So we're going to find out today if Kentuckians are going to, bend a knee for Trump or if they're sick of it as well.
Yeah, I've got a video to play for you on Thomas Massie that I thought this was crazy, dude. Let me know if you've seen this. Thomas Massie, of course, is our only hope in the Republican Party, right? That is speaks out against Trump. Trump hates Thomas Massie, and this is even more proof of that.
America First. Thomas Massie becomes the face of that politically.
This civil war in the party has gotten so out of hand. They sent the Secretary of War to my district today to campaign against me. I don't think that's ever been done.
It's also illegal.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure, but it's insane. Like, we're in the middle of a war. Why should the Secretary of War come to Kentucky? I say it's because I'm harder to beat than Iran, and I don't even have a nuclear weapon. That's because the weapon I have are the people behind me. We talked about money raised, and I took objection with the fact that he was raising money. He's the warm body, literally. The president calls him a warm body from Central Casting. That much I agree with on the president, who was just recruited. The money was already there for him. What's shocked me and surprised me is we've raised like $7 million, $50 at a time, from tens of thousands of donors.
Yeah, so people are behind Thomas Massie, but why would you send Pete Hegseth to try and derail Thomas Massie?
I mean, first of all, I hate that Massey was calling him the Secretary of War. Don't do Trump or Kegsbreath any favors, but
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe he thought he was sending Colin Jost down, some celebrity comedian or something. I mean, it makes no sense. And of course, Hegseth should have way more important things going on right now. But this is how desperate Trump is, that he's thrown the kitchen sink and the man who is as smart as a kitchen sink after it all.
Yeah, he sends Pete Hegseth down there and thinks that, we can get people riled up because people like our veterans. We can go talk about them and the Department of War and everything else. And stop talking about it that way because this is the Department of Defense. But I think he thought, we'll send them down to Kentucky and get some people riled up and they'll see that Thomas Massie is not the answer. He's getting a lot of money with donations. It seems that people like Tom Massie. So,
well, they voted him once, so let's hope they do it again. I mean, it's just really disgusting. Some of these, because some of Trump's primary tactics have worked already. And I just, talk about being an enabler. The king has no clothes, and you don't want to call him out. I mean,
yeah. Do you know who Justin J. Humphrey is? Does that ring a bell to you?
Does not. No.
That's all right. Didn't to me either. And no, you don't want to know who this guy is. This is a state representative of Oklahoma, 19th district, J.J. Humphrey.
19th district.
Yeah, 19. You know, Steve. He was the only lawmaker that stepped up to vote against a bill banning anyone from 18 years old marrying in Oklahoma. Okay, he was the only one. He stood out from everyone. Let's see what he had to say about this whole thing and see if you can agree with this guy and get down with, kids marrying each other.
You got these memes going out saying that it's child marriage, that it's pedophilia. I mean, it's crazy because we already have a current bill. So the current bill allows you, a parent, to give permission to a 16-year-old to get married. What they want to change that to is now an 18-year-old would be the only age you could get married at. So they want to take away the parent's right to give a 16-year-old permission to get married. Now, in cases of pregnancy, or there are cases where a parent might want to give their kid permission to get married, and I think that's between those young people and the parents. And so I don't think the government should be telling us, the people, what to do with our kids.
This is 2026, ladies and gentlemen, and that's Justin J. Humphrey, a Republican member of the Oklahoma House of Representatives, and he thinks that that's bullshit, dude. We should still be able to let our kids get married, especially when they're pregnant.
Megyn Kelly's looking pretty rough in that clip there. The facial hair that she's growing. 16. Yeah. I mean, come on.
16, she's all for that.
And you made a great point. He keeps referring to them as kids.
Yeah.
Don't take away the parents' right to sex traffic their children. If they want to sell them off into marriage, then why not let them? I mean, it seems like a just Southern SNL parody right there.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
This is
well, then what if the mom wants to sign off on the dad raping the kid? Like, how far are we going to take this? What if I want one of your kid's kidneys? Can you sell me the kidney? I mean, parents' rights, Nick. Come on.
Well, if it's up to the parents, dude. Come on.
Obviously the kid doesn't have any say in the matter. I mean, please.
Same dude once pushed legislation to allow animal control to remove furries from schools, okay, which was never a thing. That was a huge deal. deal. He openly supported legalizing cockfighting and defended it as a traditional rural activity. On drag, he publicly slammed a university drag show and said he'd rather take his child to a chicken fight than to see a drag queen. These are the people that are still, able to have some influence on people's lives, dude, which is fucking nuts.
In fairness, he thinks cockfighting is when Jethro and Bubba go out back and, kick the crap out of each
Sword fight.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, boy, dude.
This is what people in this country are voting for. For mega sycophants and for somebody that wants to defend selling off your 16-year-old into marriage because they got raped or molested or something. And can we do incest? I mean, why not? If the uncle rapes the 16-year-old, shouldn't mom and dad be able to bless that marriage? This is America, right?
Let me tell you, Steve, that when I think about, we talk about often about all these fuckers who never voted before Trump was a thing, that are coming out of the woods with 3 teeth and talking exactly like he spoke.
Right.
This is what happens, dude, when you start letting everyone vote. I know that we have to do that, but let's just have a little pause and some education given to people who are voting. That's all I'm saying.
There was a great clip on frickin' Nick Fuentes' show, the little Hitler-loving Republican snot-nosed punk, where someone called in and was like, I think we should have some sort of education standards on who can vote. And Nick Fuentes laughed hysterically and was like, we will lose every election for all time to come. Yeah. If that's what we're going to, the Democrats will trounce all over us because obviously Nick Fuentes is smart enough to know that Trump loves the poorly educated for a reason, because that's the base and that's who supports all of these people. And for the love of God, people, we keep saying that you're the party of pedo protectors, and it's just like, no, what evidence of that do you have? I mean, besides the Epstein files, look at that fuckwit down south.
Just played it for you. There's not much to say on that.
What is going on in this country?
I know, dude.
Is there a parallel universe where somewhere right now America is happy and healthy and progressive and cousins don't get to marry 16-year-olds and we don't protect pedos and we don't make slush funds and we don't let the felon in chief run roughshod over our Constitution? What fucking world am I living in? This is not the correct universe.
Usually, with time comes progress, but we got to roll it back to Biden and Obama to get back to where we need to be.
We do need to make America great again. Okay, not the way Trump means it, but for the love of God, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I can't take much more of this.
Did you hear about the shooting that occurred at the Islamic Center of San Diego? The largest mosque in San Diego. I know you don't oftentimes like to talk about shootings in 2026.
I heard about it, and then I moved on with my life.
All right.
It happens every goddamn day in this country. How can I even keep one straight from the other? No one does anything, but please.
Sad commentary on where we are as a country. Yeah. 2 teenage gunmen, ages 17 and 18, opened fire outside the mosque, killing 3 men, a security guard, and 2 staff members before fleeing in a vehicle. Police found those. One was a kid, 17, and one was 18, and they had self-inflicted gun wounds. They were dead too.
The parents signed off on it, Nick, so it's okay.
Oh, you think? Yeah,
right.
The thing is, dude, is the reason I'm bringing this up, other than because, this is where we're at in America right now, and it's also sad. The governor came out to make a statement about this, and there was a lady in the crowd that was not happy with the way that he has been handling the community and had a lot to say. I don't know if you saw this clip, but I'll play it for you now.
Get vocal.
Thank you. Fucking direct result of your leadership. Your leadership. Our Muslim brothers and sisters have been talking to you for how long? You have to fucking listen to them, Todd.
Look, the translator.
Just like you did with ICE. You were pulled in ICE. You were pulled in Zionist propaganda. And you'll keep doing it as long as it lines your fucking pockets, won't it? Show something. Worse approval rating than a fascist dictator with shit in his pants.
He is speechless, dude.
Yeah, and no one tried to stop that.
Okay.
Well,
Today, our city was shaken.
back to the script.
Yeah, you just can't go on after that, Todd.
That is hilarious that the sign language interpreter was sitting there. She should have just done this. That's the
Fuck you,
She's saying,
Todd.
fuck you over and over, Todd. I can translate that one. So
Yeah, this is about people getting vocal, and you got to applaud her a little bit because she had the courage to go out there and do that. This kind of thing does happen at mosques when you talk about, these people are the enemy and blah, 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 all that bullshit that people like this in the Republican Party love to spew on the daily, including our president.
Of course. And by the way, Rochelle here, I love that you're tuning in. I appreciate you getting vocal, but I'm not happy with the left either, not taking serious action and indict him already. How would you propose we do that?
Yeah.
It's just not the way we're set up. We're in the minority. We don't have the votes, and we don't have any Republicans that want to be common sense enough to come join us.
Yeah.
So, the story we read earlier about nearly 100 Democrats filing this, amicus brief, like they're doing what they can, but the rest of us need to give them the power this November. Then I assure you they will go after this stuff. But they got both hands tied behind their backs. They're blindfolded and in a trunk screaming for mercy. Like, what can we possibly do?
Well, it's like the video we just showed. What you can do, Michelle, get vocal. I mean, start speaking up. It's why we do this podcast. And, so many people join us in the chat and watch the videos throughout the week. Like, people are trying to remain informed. And when we get to the midterms, we're going to have some moves we can make that'll actually change some things. But until then, keep speaking up. Keep speaking out. We're not in power.
The entire country is experiencing FOFO. Everyone that voted for Trump, or everyone who sat home last election day, was just like, I don't like either. Kamala's not my favorite either. This is what happens. And I really do think that people are waking up to see it. Not all of them, clearly. We said the disapproval ratings at nearly 60%. So 40% are either on the fence or don't get it yet.
Yeah.
But you're never going to get everyone. So no, this is what happens. Elections do have consequences, and we're all living through them.
Yep, on the daily. I've got a couple other things I can talk about, dude.
Go for it.
You want to see Trump lie on camera?
We just have a live shot of the White House. Just any time he's on camera, he's lying. But yes,
this is just a funny lie, dude, because it's so easy to know that it's a lie, and he really extends it. This is on the Really American Media page. I pulled it from there.
And integrity. So a lot of Republicans, including you, are speaking out against the massive mail-in ballot era in Maryland primary election.
Terrible.
How concerned are you about election integrity as Americans are heading into the midterms?
I'm very concerned about it. I'm very concerned about mail-in ballots. We're the only country in the world that's doing mail-in ballots.
Not true.
Mail-in ballot is, by just the nature of it, it's going to be corrupt. So many people handle it. You go into a well-run voting booth in a certain state, we'll pick a state, but you go into, and they look, even me, I went in Florida and went to vote, and they said, sir, I hate to do it. I'm so embarrassed. Could I see your identification? I said, really? Do you really want to do that? Please, sir.
Lie.
I'll lose my job if I don't do it. I was very proud to hand her identification and everything else.
Lie.
I mean, we know that he used a mail-in ballot.
Yeah.
We know that.
And does Florida even require ID to vote?
I'll lose my job, sir. Please, please give me your ID. You see that Dr. Dipshit, Oz behind him, is smiling and laughing throughout the story. But RFK is just sitting there is he just straight out fucking lying? Something that is so easy to check on?
Well, he is. And I think Florida actually does require an ID. But no, he did vote by mail. There would be video, of course, of that. And this whole thing he's talking about is a Maryland, is that what he's saying, that has 500,000 fraudulent ballot, blah, blah, blah. I mean, first of all, mail-in ballots are completely legal and just as easy to, dispel or, dispute if you needed to. But Maryland sent out a bunch of ballots that had a typo on it that made them invalid. So they sent out a reprint. Like, obviously, the original ballots are invalid. Obviously, if somebody votes twice, they can easily find that out.
Yes.
I mean, voter fraud is so easy to find, especially if it's 500,000 people in one state doing it. I mean, yes, you're right. He's just lying. Like 5 different ways. He's just lying.
Yeah. And meanwhile, we have people that this is who's voting for Trump. This is who is supporting Trump. And this is a real clip, too. I had to fact check this. This is somebody saying that God sent Trump down to build the ballroom. Okay. This is an actual, I don't know, religious dude.
It's hard to believe that it would take 2 centuries for the Lord to raise up a great man to bring that ballroom finally to stand where it needs to stand. It's extraordinary. We only had to wait 200 years.
Oh, that fucking ballroom. It's about time, dude. We get a ballroom. You know?
I'm not shocked to hear that from a religious leader who, for a living, builds a waste of an infrastructure building, like churches and the decadence and the opulence and the gilded this and that. Like, none of it is necessary. I'm pretty sure God would be fine with you worshiping in some very humble abode. You know?
And you're going to need God as RFK continues to dismantle the CDC and not believe what the WHO has to say. He's getting rid of vaccines, and Ebola is making a comeback. Trump was asked if he's worried about Ebola.
Should Americans be concerned about Ebola?
I'm concerned about everything, but certainly am. I think that, it's been confined right now to Africa. But it's something that has had a breakout.
That's that clip says, should Americans be worried about it? I'm concerned about everything. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about what the American people should and shouldn't be worried about. It's just whatever he's worried about, dude.
How dare you, Nick? How dare you? That is our president, God damn it. Of course he cares.
Well, our president has renamed the Democratic Party as the Democrats, and he's taking a lot of glee in telling people about this. I thought this was God doing the Lord's work when he was talking about Democrats today.
It's the Democrats. They're dumb. It's a new name. It's a very accurate name. So I'm in the middle of a negotiation. I'm saying you cannot have a nuclear weapon. And it comes over the wire that the Democrats want to stop Trump from further negotiations. They want to stop Trump from, if he has to, giving them another slap. They want to have a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, dude, why don't you use computer monitor things up on? Why are we using cardstock for all his ballroom shit? Of course it blows down, dude.
Well, they're mystified by printing technology. They always wonder, how do these Democrats get all the same, protest signs all around the country? Like, how does that work? And I would like to rename them the retardicans, but I don't think that's politically correct.
No, we don't use that word anymore.
No, but if we're going to start using it again, that would be the context that would make sense.
Ah, okay. Well, does that leave you feeling good?
Hippie suggestion. It's the rape
publicans. Yes,
that's better.
Yeah, that's better.
Does any of this make me feel better? No. Okay. Honestly, the show has depressed me. Can we take Friday off? Can we just come back next Tuesday?
No, you got to be back on Friday, dude.
No, we're taking Friday off.
Oh yeah, I guess.
I was trying to let you off the hook.
Yeah.
Blaming me.
We'll take Friday off, dude. We will.
Got anything else?
I got one more thing, dude, and I want to get your honest opinion on this. You and I, and a lot of us in the chat and watching, have been behind Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban has put together his own RX company.
Yeah, which is great, and I use it. And yes, I know you're going with this.
He's been a guy that spoke out against Trump. The question is, I'll play this video, but think about this question while you're watching the video. We always said if Trump did something good, we would talk about it. And, I stick to that, dude. If he actually did something good, I will talk about it. Here's Mark Cuban stepping up and siding with Trump on one deal. I want to know your thoughts after the video.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, Mr. President. I think other than you, I've been the biggest proponent of TrumpRx.com. And the reason for that is Republicans want cheaper drugs, independents want cheaper drugs, Democrats want cheaper drugs, and together, I think we're going to do something special. What makes Cost Plus Drugs different is that when you click through Trump RX to our site, not only will you see a great price, but you'll see our actual cost and that we only mark it up 15%. And what makes this incredible, Mr. President, all the volume and all the people that are going to come from the site, as our volumes go up, our costs go down, which means we'll be ending up charging less to people over a period of time. So this is a special announcement. This is a special partnership. 559 of those drugs are ours, so we're really excited to be part of this.
Yeah.
What do you say, dude? What say you, Steve Harness?
Okay, listen, I'm a Mark Cuban fan. I appreciate him getting vocal all of these years. I would like to say that this is an example of, sometimes you got to partner up with your enemy to, do the greater good thing. Like Mark Cuban started Cost Plus. That's his discount pharmaceutical website.
Yeah.
And it's a noble effort because pharmaceuticals are way overpriced. I have a prescription that my insurance won't cover. And the first time I went to the pharmacy, they were like, that'll be $700. I was like, what? And they were like, oh, unless you have a discount code, then it's like $6. Like,
right.
It's a gigantic fucking scam, and they can, of course, discount drugs. And what Mark Cuban has done with his website, what he just said is accurate. Like, the more people that use it, the cheaper and cheaper the drugs can go. And he, I don't know about now, but at least when he first started, that was not making money. He was losing it because he wanted to just get the volume through that thing. So, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The enemy in this case being overpriced drugs, and pharmaceutical companies taking advantage of us. So, I mean, as soon as he goes out and, campaigns for Trump or something, I'll really dry heave. But right now, I want to say that he is sucking it up for the greater good of something that he is correct. Democrats, independents, Republicans, we all want and need cheaper drugs.
Yeah.
The healthcare system in this country is fucked. So if he's got to mildly bend a knee to Trump to get his website's traffic to go through his so that we can all get cheaper, like, having said that, no, I don't like it, but I get it.
Yes. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. I don't think he's bending a knee. I think that he is still looking out for people who need prescription drugs at the end of the day. This doesn't benefit him in any way because he's not taking a profit off his own website. So, yeah, this is just about people getting drugs at the best price they possibly can. Life-saving, life-altering drugs.
Yes. Rochelle chiming back in, Cuban has let us down. Greed is a powerful character flaw. Sure, it is, and that's what our president embodies. But like Nick just said, the man's either losing money or not making it, and he's already a multi-billionaire on his own. He does not need to curry favor with Trump to make more money. Cuban is a smart businessman, smart investor, can make all the money he needs and wants to. So he is doing this for the greater good. So, yeah, Trump RX, teaming up, good thing. Trump reclassifying marijuana, good thing. Okay, see,
Yep. There you go.
We're
Two
doing
good
what we
things.
said. Where if he does something good, we will point it out.
Yeah.
Now I need to go take a bath.
Yeah, get some of that ick off you.
Right.
All right, dude. Well, we better hang the hat up and get on out. Thank you guys for listening to the pod today. We appreciate it.
Indeed. If you go to thevocalminority.net, you can contact us directly. I saw a few emails coming in during the live show here, so we'll look through those later. But yeah, Nick does need to take Friday off, so we'll be back next Tuesday. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. In the meantime, check out those videos on the Really American Media platform and subscribe, download the podcast. We appreciate you all.
And that'll do it for another edition of The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Thanks for joining us on the Really American Media platform. Check out all our social media wherever good social media is found. Until next time, you tiny little bastards, good day.
Good day.
And we say